My parents. My mother was born and raised in Duluth, and she went a year to North Avenue Presbyterian School, which is in Atlanta, which it became Westminster. She wanted to go to Agnes Scott, and her father said she couldn't go because she could only, if she went to Agnes Scott, she could only get married or teach. And her joke was always that she went to the University of Georgia and got married and taught. So it was a. My father was racing winder, and at Georgia he boxed. There's no. The only time I knew my father to be aggressive was when he was either driving a car or playing tennis. But he played tennis until he was like 75 years old. So he was sort of a contrast in that he got a PhD in English and he was a scholar, but he also was a boxer. I had my oldest brother Fielding. My second brother was William Don Russell. He was the first one born in Statesboro. Fielding was born in Savannah. And then Richard, who despised me from the word go because I made him quit being the baby, he was probably the wildest of the three. I was born in 1946. But when they brought me home from the hospital, they brought me home. There were six of us in the house. I was raised for like 7 years with this wild group of people. Then I was an only child. Oh, this is a terrible story. My second and third brothers did not get along at all. One night, I was sort of watching this because I wasn't really important enough to be involved in any of it. Richard was down here. My mother had these green glasses that were sort of like sherbet glasses, and Richard fixed up lemonade, and his glass had lemonade in it. They were green, so you couldn't really see what color the liquid was unless you looked down into the glass, which of course Bill did. But in Bill's glass, he put like Worcestershire sauce and vinegar and all this horrible stuff. Bill told me this is one of his childhood memories that Daddy used to walk on his hands. He was kind of amazing. During the war, they had a chicken house out in the back, and there was a tree next to it and a rope, and we would swing from the rope, and that was our Tarzan, swinging from the vine. That was how I got my stitches. And I do remember my brother Fielding. I got up in the tree and I was stuck, and he climbed the tree and stood beside me and talked me down, which I think now was such a gift because he didn't like pick me up and bring me down. So I didn't ever feel like I couldn't get down because he just showed me where to put my feet. I didn't feel helpless.